Guys, it is phonics time and working on our phonics today. Remember, we are practicing extra special this week on our sound that goes like this. CK says ka. It doesn't say ka. That just sounds weird. If we tried to go ka, little dude would pop up and he would be like, no, I'm going to grab little dude because he's already over there on the easel going, no. There he is. He'd pop up and he would shake his little head. No. He would be like, that sounds weird. It doesn't sound right. We would never go, ka. Remember, C says ka, K says ka. And when they're together, they just say it one time. CK says ka. And that line is there to show us that there would be other letters that come before the C and the K, and that the C and the K always come at the end of a word. Okay? All right, here we go. QU says qua. G says go. C says ka. W says wa. J says jo. SH says shh. Remember Sherman? H says ha. Y says ya. Z says z. K says ka. V says v. R says ra. N says n. L says l. T says ta. S says s. B says b. TH says out with your tongue. Remember Theo? P says pa. M says D says da. F says I says I. Bring up your piggy nose. A says ah. Down with that pancake. U says oh, belly hurts. O says ah, around the racetrack. E says oh, I don't want to smile. I feel grumpy. He says change it, bring it up. CK says ka, new one. P says pa. G says ga. N says n. T says ta. D says da. X says x. M says B says ba. All right, let's put it in. Animals are ready. Lippy Fish says, make sure you have that first sound right. If you don't have the first sound right, the rest of the word gets mixed up. And then in goes our vowels in the middle. Extra work this week with our new sound CK at the end. Snake is there, he says, sound that alt all the way, stretch it all the way to me. Chunky Monkey's looking for chunks. Did you notice that Skippy Kangaroo is here with us? Skippy Kangaroo is here with us, but he's waiting off to the side because he's not here to help us with this. He's here to help us talk about something else in a little bit, okay? Here we go. Duh, ack, dack. Thumb down on that. Ack, fack. Down for me. Quack, quack. Up. That sound that a duck makes. Ack, gack. Down. Ack, cack. Down. Chunky Monkey is not twitching. Do you notice that? He's very still. Actually, he has his little hand up on Snake, and he's just resting it there. They're good buddies. Ack, whack. Oh yeah, something can go like that and make a whack sound. Ack, jack. Oh, definitely. In our little book this week, we had Jack and Nick play. And the reason that Skippy Kangaroo is over here with us is because sometimes when we're actually reading a book, we can use Skippy Kangaroo. Let's say we're reading a book like this one, and we come to a word that we just don't know. We've tried our other animals, and we don't have any chunks, and we're sounding it out, and it's just not helping us. We've got the first sound right, but we're still stuck. Little dude is like, no, it still doesn't sound right. Well, let's say we come to a word, like Jack and Nick will go. I'm going to pretend I'm super stuck right there. I don't see a chunky monkey. I've got puh. I've got that puh because Lippy Fish says I have to have the first sound right. I got puh, but I'm not getting the rest. I'm going to use Skippy Kangaroo. I'm going to skip it. I skipped it, a sack. Now I'm actually going to use my eagle eyes and look at the picture. I'm going to see what they're doing. Oh, the baby popped out. Baby says, Mommy says you skipped it. You can skip it, but baby pops out and says, you can't skip it forever. So we're going to go back. We're going to use try and lion. There he is. Hi, buddy. Try and lion says, try again. I see what they're doing, putting things in the sack. They, pack a sack. Awesome job using Skippy Kangaroo. Remember when you get to the period, baby says you have to go back, and try and lion says keep on trying. They pack a sack. Now, books like this, or even other books that you read, you might be reading a regular book. You get stuck on a word like that, you can use your Skippy Kangaroo. That's why Skippy Kangaroo came over to work with us today. Sit up, my friends. All right, we're going to keep going with our sounding out. Shh, shh, Sherman. Shh, hack, shack, little tiny house. Ack, hack. I'm not so sure about that. Yuck, ack, yak. Oh, I know there's an animal called a yak. Zzz, ack, zack. I know that one is a name too. I just know that there would need to be a capital there. Try it this way. Zzz, piggy nose, pig, pig, pig. Zick, zick. Now then it doesn't work, does it? Ka, ick, kick. Awesome. I remember in the story, I looked at the picture, I used my eagle eyes, and I could see he's using his foot to kick and kick. Good job. Ick, vick. Thumb down. Ick, rick. Thumb up. But it would need a capital. Ick, nick. Thumb up. He was in our story. So you can see his name is a capital. Anybody's name, always capital. Ick, lick. I remember that from the story too. They had ice cream and they were going to lick and lick that ice cream. Ta, ick, tick. Like a clock does that. Ick, sick. Oh, none of us like us when we get sick, do we? Ba, ick, bick. Thumbs down. Tongue out. Ick, thick. My sandwich was thick. Pa, ick, pick. Oh, I'm going to pick out a new toy. Ick, mick. Well, yeah, that one can be a name too. So it would need a capital. So we're going to head over and I'm going to actually use that book to read to you today. This one is called I Am the Cat, I Am the Dog, I Am the Cat. And we're going to use this story to compare and contrast. Remember, compare is finding what is the same or what is alike. Contrast is when we find out what's different. And we've done this with two different books. Like we did yesterday, Gingerbread Baby or Gingerbread Man and Gingerbread Bear. We figured out what was the same. That always goes in the middle. And what's different goes on the outsides. So we used two books. Well, today we're just going to use one book. Interesting. And we're going to look at characters in the book and figure out what about the characters is the same in the middle. What about the characters is different on the outside? I am the dog. I am the cat. So we're going to compare the dog and the cat. Willie and Harry will love this one. By Donald Hall. Dog. I am the dog. I like bones. I like to bury bones. As far as eating, I can take it or leave it, but I like it when they feed me. Cat. I am the cat. I don't care whether they feed me or not, as long as I get fed. Sometimes I tease them to feed me. They turn up my nose at what I get. Dog. Making the acquaintance of babies, I allow them to pull my hair. I do not like it, but I allow it, for I am the dog. Cat says, when babies come into the house, I try to vanish and hide. Babies are crazy. Babies will sit on you. Ha! Dog says, I am brave as I bark to frighten the burglar disguised as the UPS man or the kidnapper who pretends to be a bicyclist wanting to drink a water. Cat says, strangers are just fine. If I feel like a lap, I feel like a lap. Why should I care what they feel like? Cat will sit on anyone's lap. Dog says, I sleep all day in order to stay rested, in order to be alert when it is my duty to bark. Cat says, I sleep all day in order to stay awake all night on mouse patrol. Dog says, after I sleep all day, I sleep at night, for I am the dog. The cat says, cats work hard. When people and dogs are asleep, they never stop hunting for mice. In the absence of mice, I hunt pieces of paper clips, or rubber bands. Dog says, when I walk in the country, I chase rabbits, then butterflies, trucks, and sticks, for I am the dog. The cat says, when I want to go through a door, I paw at it and meow. When they finally open the door, I don't want to go through it anymore. Dog says, when I smell something wonderful, I roll in it. Cat says, every now and then I decide to act frightened. From a deep sleep, I leap suddenly into the air and then run off and hide somewhere. Dog says, I'm nervous when I hear thunder, firecrackers, or guns, or anything they say will comfort me. Cat says, nothing frightens me. It's not that I'm brave, it's just that nothing frightens me. Dog says, when I walk in town, I sniff at fireplaces, fire hydrants, telephone poles, fences, hedges, and for other dogs, for I am the nose. Cat says, all day long when I am awake, I watch birds from the top of the bread box in the pantry window. If I listed all the birds I've ever seen, the list would go on for 1,000 pages. Dog says, I scratch fleas suddenly and ferociously. Cat says, don't touch me, for I am the cat. Dog says, when I swim in the pond, I bark at minnows, and then I shake water on you, for I am the dog. Cat says, I keep myself clean. What if the president dropped by? Dog says, I like chasing a ball. It amuses me. When they beg to get it back. And the cat says, the VCR is warm. It is my bed in the house, for I am the yawning cat. Dog says, I like my ears scratched. I like praise. I cannot hear it when they use that tone of voice. I'm ashamed, for I am the dog. Cat says, the dog amuses me. He cares about what people think. I wash his muzzle. Dog says, I pretend nip the cat when she washes me. Cat says, dogs are nervous and well-meaning. It is well known that cats are at the same time independent, selfish, fearless, beautiful, cuddly, scratchy, and intelligent. Dog says, cats just don't care. Only a dog is at the same time dignified, guilty, sprightly, obedient, friendly, vigilant, and soulful. Cat says, I leap for his throat. I hurl myself at his muzzle, which is the same size as I am. After a while, he bows. Dog says, cats are weird. Cat says, I walk away with my tail in the air, for I am the cat. We're going to do a double bubble today, and we're going to use that story just to think about the dog and the cat. So what about the dog and the cat is the same? So on our double bubble, we have cat over here, we have dog over here. Well, let's see, what about them is the same? They are animals. I circle that. I draw a line to the cat, to the dog. Do some thinking. What else about them is the same? Oh, they sleep a lot. They both sleep during the day. And only one of them sleeps at night, too. Do you think you remember which one sleeps at night? What else about them is the same? They both get fed. Only one of them likes bones, though. Do you think you remember which one likes the bones? I bet you do. That's pretty easy. What are their bodies covered with? What else about them is the same? They both have fur. Now I connect that to the dog. And then to the cat. They both have fur. Now I'm only going to think about the cat. Did he sleep at night? No. He was awake at night. Did the dog sleep at night? Yep. He was asleep on the day and at the night. He sleeps at night. I'm going to connect that to the dog. Only. How do they feel about babies? Babies. Oh, the dog liked babies. He thought they were fun to play with. But the cat, it's like, no, they're crazy. Babies are crazy and babies sit on me. That is not like babies. Connect that one to the cat. How about getting wet? The dog would jump right into the pond, right? He likes to swim. The cat was like, no. The only time I get wet is when I wash myself. If you've ever seen a cat, they like to lick themselves, and that's how they get clean. So they lick themselves. They don't like to go swimming. So I'm going to connect that only to the cat. Speaking of, Harry, tell us, what do cats like that dogs don't like? Oh my gosh. Willie, come here. Tell us, Willie, what do dogs like that cats don't like? Oh, the part about strangers. Oh, okay. Thanks for your help. Cats don't mind strangers because they like to sit on their lap. They like strangers. I'll connect that just to the cat. The dogs, they don't. They bark at strangers. Bark at strangers. I'll connect that to the dog. Cat's like, I will sit on anybody's lap. I don't mind. All right, friends. So when we looked at our story today, we compared what was alike about the two characters, the dog and the cat in the story. And we put that in the middle. What was different? Only the cat is about those things. Only the dog on his side is about those things. And when we do that as we're reading, it helps us to understand a story better. It helps us to remember important things in a story. And that's why we read. Because if we just forget about it, there's really not much of a point, is there? And if we can't remember what happened, there's also not much of a point. So those are important things that we do as we're reading. You have a seesaw activity to do today for comparing and contrasting your stories.